Feed the beast.
We're going to cut to a bartender. We're going to have a bartender has small horns on his head. He has a skin condition, maybe, or really a demon in disguise. Is checking barrels behind the bar, saying, "We can do with another." Now, there's dialogue right there. Like, what is going on?
Right.
Very
subtle innuendo and macabre. I mean,
yes.
It's very, yeah.
That's the element that we're trying to do. So that's a post-it note. That's what we had here. So we go to the next post-it note is, okay, now I don't use unsuspecting customer, into the club. It doesn't. We don't use that. I've created, extra stuff here, but we have this element of hooker entices unsuspecting cover in there and plays cards. Bloody Mary drinks served during game. This is something that I posted for this. But the next post-it note is Snake Eyes responds, "Cherry's already outside. Cut the cherry, enticing victim walking by." Okay, these are all the elements that I have that I want to use in this page, but you'll see that I don't use them all. It's set. I'm understanding what I'm going to say. This here is a very much of a. There's a lot of material going on here.
Yeah.
Do
you as you go? Do you make that decision, or is it something that's made that you make early on? Do you use all the information, or do you do it as you?
As I go along, I look and say, okay, does this work for me? What is happening here? And I say, okay, I don't like to stretch things out. And here we'll talk. Here's something that we could talk about in terms of compressed storytelling or decompressed storytelling. And to me, there are places where you have to stretch it, not stretch it, but rather develop it. Let it breathe. Let the interaction work. But you don't have to make it so like you're doing every half second and like you're animating something and just fill up the page. That's not good. But in this case here, I've also, you'll note here, let's see, is an additional post-it note with I've got Cherry, BB, and Pixie. And these are my notes to myself. But I want to set it up something that's happening here. Cherry, BB, and Pixie are the gals who work at the club. And this is what we're talking about, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to understand what I'm going to say in all these notes here.
Sure.
Okay.
Or who's saying them?
Who's saying that, and what are they? And let me roll this up a little bit here. And this is a fascinating idea: is that Cherry can sniff out blood type A, BB can sniff out type B, and Pixie can sniff out O. So those are the gals that are going outside to get a victim.
Yeah.
And it's not just, we're going to get a mark. It has to be a specific victim.
That makes the story even deeper. And it's very subtle, but I understand that. Did you come up with that as the story rolled? Or was it something that came up at the first as the idea?
No, as I'm developing this, I'm saying, okay, I've got to do something with this. I know that they're going to be, they have to do that. I had my mind that they would have to sniff out the victims, but why? And so that's why I had the barrels have blood type A, blood type B.
That's great. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yeah.
So now we have a place for interaction.